So there have actually been two recent sightings of two particular actors that have fans wondering if these two guys are definitely coming back for Avengers Doomsday. Those two actors being Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man and Chris Evans back as Steve Rogers. So Tobey Maguire was photographed in London, which is where they're filming Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, it goes without saying, Tobey Maguire is a wealthy man out there enjoying his life. He could just be visiting London for funsies, but he did return to the role of Spidey for Spider-Man No Way Home, and that fact alone bodes well for him being open to returning to the role and Marvel being interested in having him back. Marvel's most loyal audience right now is essentially the age bracket of me to Ryan Airy, and we love us some Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Now, I've been on record as saying that there is no chance, a 0% chance, that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, there is no chance that they don't show up in at least Avengers Secret Wars. Everyone is going to be in Avengers Secret Wars. If the actor is open to it, Marvel's going to get them in there somewhere. So I do get really tired of hearing people say, oh, the Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home, they were the swan songs for the Spider-Man and Wolverine. Bullshit. You don't bring those actors out of retirement from those roles to don the suits again in the multiverse saga and then not ask them back for Avengers. I mean, Andrew Garfield and Hugh Jackman have both been vocal in the past about wishing that the studios could have worked something out to get them into those Avengers movies. And now here we are, and I realize I'm talking about Andrew Garfield and Hugh Jackman, neither of which are part of this discussion. But my point is, Marvel has all of their characters now under one roof. Small asterisk by Spider-Man, but they've got the green light to use him. And, they already brought back these OGs in this multiverse saga. So they're gonna be in Secret Wars, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're talking about Avengers Doomsday, right? So is Toby being in London 100% confirmation that he's going to be in Doomsday? No, but I'll give you the Colton guarantee that he is at least going to be in Avengers Secret Wars. Now, that brings us to the Spider-Man of it all. Brand New Day is also filming over there in London, and Toby just appeared in No Way Home. And while this Brand New Day movie is supposed to be a street level, back to formula style Spider-Man film, we know that Doomsday and Secret Wars are coming, and the multiverse saga is still in full swing, and Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, will be a part of that. So perhaps we could see Brand New Day in with Peter getting recruited by his spider brethren to come join the fight against Doctor Doom. Now, as for Chris Evans, I do 100% think that he will be in Avengers Doomsday. With Toby, I'm open to the possibility that maybe he's not in Doomsday, he's in Secret Wars. But for Chris Evans, I think he's in Doomsday for sure. Dude has denied that he's in the movie, but he's a terrible liar, especially for an actor. Now, the reason I bring up Chris Evans is because there have also been some recent images of him with his clean-shaven face, when he normally has a beard, and his big old bulking arms have people speculating that he too is prepping to shoot his scenes for Avengers Doomsday soon. Now, I put Chris Evans in my same take it to the bank, he'll be back boat, and I'd say Chris Evans returning is even more of a sure thing than Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman. I mean, Chris Evans and RDJ, they are the MCU, and we of course have RDJ coming back as Doom. Chris Evans, he's certainly going to be back, and I think definitely in Doomsday. Now, some are speculating that he'll be in a villainous role like RDJ is with Doom, perhaps like a Captain Hydra, but I don't think so personally. I think that he'll be a good guy. I'm excited to see how they could bring him back. Do they take, old Steve Rogers, who, as far as we know, is currently still alive in like the modern 616? Do they take him and pass time through him like they did with Scott Lang in Endgame to make him younger? Do they take, the Steve Rogers we saw that went back in time to that splintered timeline that he created to live with Peggy? Do they go and recruit him from that moment? I've had a fun theory that I'm sure other people have had as well, where that Steve Rogers who's living in that timeline, I've had the theory that he experiences the events of Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then that old Steve Rogers that we saw in Endgame that gave Sam the shield, I think that he has already experienced, the fight with Doom and all of that. and the shield that he ends up giving Sam, I think that shield is actually a shield that he got from Sam, making it to where this shield is like a bootstrap paradox thing, like that song in Back to the Future that was never actually created, that Chuck Berry song where like Chuck Berry's cousin heard Marty McFly perform it, and that's what inspired him to write it. But it was Chuck Berry where Marty McFly heard the song in the first place. So technically the song was never created. I think the same thing's true for the Shield. But anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there. As far as how they bring him back, I'm not sure, but I do think we'll see him back and he'll be a good guy. Now, there are some rumors going around, and they are rumors, but I'll give you a spoiler warning just in case you don't want to hear anything. But there are rumors that Steve is responsible for the incursions, or at least some of them, and that he is on Doom's hit list across the multiverse, along with the Kangs and Doctor Strange and Loki, all because of what he did when he created that splintered timeline to go live his life with Peggy. We shall see. So thanks so much for the question. Everybody, let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. All right. Hey everybody, Colton here, and this is the mailbag style show where I take your questions about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, movies and streaming in general, whatever you want to ask. Send it to the email address askcoltonnow@gmail.com, link in the description below, and maybe you'll see your question featured right here on the show.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.